Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Muhammadu Buhari says one of the legacies his administration will leave behind is a reformed and motivated military. The president was at the 2023 Nigerian Army Parade of Trooping and presentation of colors. The president believes that with the recruitment of more personnel, as well as training welfare, improvement towards optimal performance has resulted in resounding successes in the fight against insurgency and criminality across the country. The Nigeria Governors Forum Secretariat has come up with an agenda of national outlook after many moments of physical silence by members owing to the new order imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Arrival of governors at the Secretariat of NGF Wednesday evening signaled commencement of the meeting proper, which was held behind closed doors. The members brought to the table an agenda of national outlook, and these are outcomes of the session revealed by the chairman.
The guidelines by the NFIU on financial regulations that is working on how to ensure that Nigeria is taken out of the grey list of the financial task force, and we also discussed about the issue of primary health care and the Seattle Declaration and the progress made so far, and during our induction course, some states that have attained some milestones are going to receive some awards for their performance. And we also discussed about the new revenue formula submitted to Mr. President by the Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, and the need for us to really approach Mr. President on the need for him to present the new draft formula to National Assembly before this administration winds up.
The issue of stamp duties also took center stage during the deliberation, with far-reaching resolutions adopted.
We also discussed about the issue of stamp duties that are being owed both the federal government and the states, that is, were housed in central bank, and we are working to make sure that that has been released for disbursements to both federal government and states. So these are some of the issues we have discussed.
The forum appreciated the feats achieved by the Secretariat and promised to continue towards the consolidation of democracy and good governance. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says Nigerians should expect yet another administration they would be proud of when President-elect Bola Tinubu is sworn in May 29. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who visited the President-elect in Abuja, spoke confidently about his trust in the ability of the incoming president.
There's a lot of consultations that I think he has started engaging himself with, and begin to filter, who best fit what. I imagine, those are the kind of things that will be running through his mind now. And so what Nigerians should be expecting, they should be expecting a Mr. President that should be ready for the job from day one. A Mr. President that should be able to give a renewed hope, as has been said in his manifesto, for our country, for the biggest black nation on earth. And I would not expect anything less from him. And all I could say is we should exercise a bit of patience, and when that cut-off date comes in, positive, patience to say that we are, going to be supporting this man. We believe, in all of the promises that he has given to us. Let us just all wait and see how it turns out, all of his great promises that he has given to the country.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it will take at least 4 days to complete evacuation of Nigerians from Sudan. Director General of the agency, in an interview, says 13 buses with 60 people will leave Sudan daily. Let's join Musa Baba Aliyu for details of these and other developing stories from Sudan. We are sorry for the lack of sound in that report. We now join Hingino in our Lagos Network Center for trending stories from that zone. Hello, Hingino.
Man's magical invention on how to fly is special. Navigating the cloudless and void skies requires exceptional ability. 100 years ago, humanity conquered that limitation, and today, Feza Evransev's singular act has established a platform for pilots to be celebrated. In this report, Michael Olale examines the role of pilots to the world trade, cooperation, and safety.
The world, no doubt, has evolved, with many innovations shaping the existence of man. But of all the discoveries and inventions, none seems special like learning how to fly. It is a wonder first exhibited by a young Turkish boy, Feza Evrensev, in 1912, and as a way of celebrating this heroic act, the International Federation of Airline Pilots Association recognizes 26th of April as World Pilots Day. And beyond contributing to safe navigation and eliminating air mishap, expanding the technicalities and functionality of pilots are means through which the industry can continue to appreciate their expertise.
What we can only do is continue to provide good navigational services that will aid their work and safe operation. They also provide a strong regulatory body to ensure that training, retraining, and their licensing are compliant.
Of all the professions around the globe, the training of pilots is universal. But in the era of technology, with most discussions centered around artificial intelligence, what then does the future hold?
Technology is a welcome development. If anything, it's improving on the skill training for the pilot. But make no mistake, for a long foreseeable future, there will always be a human pilot in the cockpit. Because will you be comfortable that you enter a plane, they tell you that it's a machine that is flying you?
Inasmuch as air connectivity plays a crucial role in global trade and civilization, then pilots will continue to have a place of pride in the aviation industry because they are the magic fingers on whose strengths massive aircrafts stay afloat. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Now, away from the aviation industry, it has been said over time that the best way to hide an information from an African is by hiding it in a book. Some very young Nigerians are, however, breaking ground to discourage that by becoming authors with dreams of preserving Nigeria's indigenous languages in books. Annie Daniels will tell us more.
Samtochukwu Prosper became an author at age 9 with a book titled Ada, the Humble Girl.
It comprises about a girl known as Ada She's a girl full of surprises and memories of a child, and she's full of good experience and joy for family unity.
Not satisfied with that, Santochukwu says his dream is to write books in his mother tongue, Igbo language.
France, Netherlands, Ireland, China, Korea, they don't speak English, but are still doing well. They do have plans to write in Igbo language. It helps Igbo people, especially the young ones, the youth, to understand their background, where they are coming from.
Okay, good. I came across these junior secondary school students who say they all understand the importance of books and read the ones they desire.
I enjoy reading motivational storybooks. All these storybooks are telling about the future.
If I don't read, I will not be able to, become what I want to become.
My young respondents also informed me that they would love to be authors of books written in Nigeria's indigenous languages, but there are challenges, which includes difficulty in mastering tone markings. There are quick answers to that.
If you want to say you use E and then there's a dot or a definition under. Do you understand? If somebody said because she has not been able to use those affinations and the rest of them on those alphabets and they failed her, of course they will fail you because that is not what you were being taught.
The first thing that children will understand is about pictures. If you write anything for children, they will not understand. But if you draw pictures of a car, of a ball, these are what you find in those books in those days. That you start learning from the known to unknown.
My respondents all agree that putting down our indigenous languages in books, whether in the form of stories, textbooks for the study of any subjects, will play a very significant role in preserving our indigenous languages. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We will take some messages now. Nationwide continues in Benin, where Ogochukwuka is standing by.
Elected members of the Edo State House of Assembly in the April 18th supplementary election have been presented with certificate of return. The state's resident electoral commissioner, Oboe Fanga, urged the members to use the opportunity to deepen the nation's democracy through quality representation. Klokenaini reports.
The successful elected members are Natasha Osawaru for Edo State constituency, Frank Omosiwo for Oedo East State constituency, while Destiny and Abuleli will be representing Ovia Southwest constituency. They all contested under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP.
3 of the constituency seats were inconclusive and we had to conduct supplementary elections. This will effectively conclude our activities for the 2023 general elections.
The assembly members in waiting promised to give adequate representation and thanked the party as well as party supporters for the confidence reposed in them.
As it is now, I'm no longer a member representing the group of Ovia Southwest for my party alone. It's now for all and sundry.
They should expect something different from what others have been doing, and we're going to do things differently.
While the people await the inauguration of the 8th Assembly, they are hopeful of a huge improvement in legislative business. In Benin, good luck in NTA News.
And residents of Edo State have commended the federal government for embarking on massive community development projects across the state. They gave the commendation during the inauguration and inspection of over 60 projects by the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, in Edo North. Victor Odion Acha has details.
Some of the projects completed and inaugurated by the Minister for State, Budget and National Planning, Prince Clem Agba, are 1.5 kilometer Iyoge Edegbe Road, 500 kVA transformer in Agenibode town, Opal stores, solar street lights and borehole projects in Agenibode market, 4.5 kilometer Agenebode Unwedego Road, 2.5 kilometers Ekwaso Iwikwe Road and Iwikwa Road. Other projects inspected are 31 kilometer Uzano Ajakuta Road, Uzano Mini Market, Uzano Divisional Police Station, Uzano Internal Roads, Uzano Mini Stadium, construction of 80 bed sitters, 2 theaters and doctor's quarters at Irwa Specialist Teaching Hospital, Uzano Anes. 21.5 kilometer Uzano Okpekpe Road, 6 kilometers Okpenada Ugochi Road, 10 kilometers Egbigere Ate Road, and the Somoreka Road. While speaking on the quality of work done, Prince Clem Abba said the projects are part of economic sustainability program of President Muhammadu Buhari geared towards poverty reduction in Nigeria.
Seeing, like we say, it's believing. It's just that we haven't been making a lot of noise. President has done very well for Edo State. You saw a bridge today in Uzano, and I also told you about the Aden Bridge, which we facilitated during the economic sustainability plan.
We are happy with the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the APC government for that they've done for us.
We have hospital, we have mini stadium, then we have street lights all over the community.
In Edo North, Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide today. We now return to Abuja. Informer, back to you. Many thanks, Ogwachukuka. And now let's bring you details of our earlier story on the update from Sudan. Remember, we told you that the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it will take at least 4 days to complete evacuation of Nigerians from Sudan. Musa Babaliu will be updating us on developing stories from that country.
The capital of Sudan, to Aswan Egyptian border is about 1,000 kilometers. That is the distance to be covered by these buses daily. Each will be carrying 60 students, including the elderly and women. So far, 150 of them in 10 buses are already on their way to Egypt, as at the time of this report. The Director General National Emergency Management Agency, Ahmed Mustafa Habib, says adequate arrangement has been put in place for the protection and security of Nigerians along transitway. He says arrangement has also been completed with the Nigerian-based airline, Air Peace, that will airlift the Nigerians from Egypt free of charge. Multiple nations have scrambled to evacuate embassy staff and citizens by road. Fighting between the army and paramilitaries has killed hundreds and led to acute shortages of water, food, medicine, and fuel.
It is important that the world stands with the people of Sudan to provide the resources that are required for humanitarian organizations to ramp up emergency response and humanitarian assistance to the people in need. One life lost in Sudan is a life too many.
A Royal Air Morocco flight carrying 136 Moroccan nationals evacuated from Sudan arrived at Casablanca International Airport this Thursday. This is coming as Chinese Navy ships sent to rescue citizens from the conflict-hit Sudan have also evacuated nationals from 5 other countries. The first batch of 678 people evacuated by the Chinese team arrived at port in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, by ship on Thursday morning. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the National Emergency Management Agency and the Nigerian Diaspora Commission have reacted to a trending video on the purported abandonment of Nigerians along Sudan-Egypt Road. NEMA told NTA that one of the 13 buses on convoy with Nigerians developed faults and others pulled over to wait for the vehicle to be fixed. The agency therefore refuted the claim that the bus drivers protested lack of payment. The federal government is spending $1.2 million on the evacuation exercise. And to other news, Senate is close to enacting a law that will reposition Nigeria's atomic energy technology, harness domestic talent and development of indigenous capacity in science and technology innovation. The Senate Committee on Science and Technology convened a public hearing for public input on the proposed law. Ignatius Nkwo has the details.
The Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission Act was enacted in 1976. With daily advancement in nuclear science application across the world, overhaul of Nigeria's 46-year-old atomic energy law has become urgent. At this public hearing, the Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2022 evoked consciousness for a more positive application of nuclear technology in Nigeria.
To establish Nigerian Nuclear Waste Management Company to manage issues relating to radioactive. From the foregoing, it is clear that there is urgent need to repeal the Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission Act to be able to cater for the aforementioned purposes, among others.
The bill, when passed, is also expected to strengthen the Regulatory Commission, improve Nigeria's medical diagnosis, and build an institution for nuclear technology.
The lack of requisite legal framework is another challenge and has greatly slowed down our activities as a commission to be able to harness the potentials of atomic energy in a peaceful manner, both for power and non-power aspects.
The Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority has a different view of the bill.
In line with international accepted best practice and in accordance with IEA, the requirements should address strictly aspects of promotion, development and utilization of nuclear energy application for peaceful purposes for technological development in Nigeria.
The Nigeria Content in Programs, Technology and Innovation Establishment Bill 2023 was also presented to the public. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Another step forward for the solid minerals sector in Nigeria as information in the mining industry goes digital with the inauguration of National Geodata Center in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi reports that the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekun Adegbite, inaugurated the project.
Committed mines, mining for minerals. But the discovery process is through trials, and for foreign investors, a journey of million miles to take a business decision. The Mines Minister, Olamilekun Adegbite, may be leaving office a few days from now, but feel fulfilled.
We've joined the League of Nations that are ready to do mining.
And this project is responsible for that satisfaction. A National Geodata Center with its headquarters at the newly renovated Nigerian Geological Survey Agency office, Abuja, and branches at the National Raw Materials Research Institute, Kaduna, and the NGSA branch office in Kaduna State.
On the eve of the departure of this administration, to be able to commission this National Geodata Center, it's a major milestone. And this will catapult us to the next level, because now a lot of people who often call me, come to the ministry, look for ways of getting information about mineral deposits. You don't have to do that anymore. This National Geodata Center is even linked with the website of the NGSA, and subsequently will be linked with the website of the ministry as well. So even just going on those websites, you can get a link to give you the information you want. It's structured in such a way that you can access different layers, some you pay for online, and you can even make, you can print your own drawings and all that.
The Geodata Center provides a solution whereby you put all this information together and investors can just check. I want information on gold locations in Nigeria, I access it from whether you are in the UK, you are in Nigeria, you are in South Africa, you can access it. You can also play around with this digital information for your own purpose. An investor, what investor A needs the information for may be different for what investor B uses.
Executed by Mindiver with a technical support from the British Geological Survey, Mines and Steel Development Ministry through the Geodata Center makes mining more attractive to foreign and local investors. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Forum of Nuclear Regulatory Bodies in Africa is promoting an effective nuclear safety culture and implementation of the highest nuclear safety and radiation protection standards in Africa. This was at the body's steering committee in Abuja. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports.
The use of nuclear energy presents an interesting dilemma. On the one hand, it produces no carbon emissions, a major sustainable advantage in a world facing climate change. And on the other hand, our environmental and societal risk of nuclear proliferation and the impact of accidental releases of radiation from operating reactors. Established in 2009, the Forum of Nuclear Regulatory Bodies in Africa is aimed at strengthening and harmonizing radiation and nuclear safety, as well as security regulatory infrastructure in the African region. This steering committee meeting of the Forum, 20th in the series, is aimed at developing a 5-year implementation strategic plan 2023 to 2027 to address nuclear and the safety of other radioactive materials as well as security in Africa.
We are now coming to form an implementation plan for the whole of Africa, because a lot of countries in Africa are going into nuclear power plants, and a lot of them are going into radiotherapy, nuclear medicine, and other activities involving the use of nuclear and radioactive materials in Africa.
The forum also enables nuclear regulatory bodies to share experiences and practices.
This is an opportunity, I think, for all of the partners to come together and focus on their priorities, establish a work plan, establish a path forward, a number of different projects where we can collaborate together.
It really shows the African countries' ownership and leadership about the nuclear safety framework, improvement, and establishment effort. So I'm very glad to see this, and then through this meeting, we would like to set up some long-term plan for the African continent to achieve the strong and sustainable nuclear safety and security framework.
The steering committee is made up of 9 officers elected from 34 African member countries that have endorsed the Nuclear Regulatory Charter. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
And for the next set of stories on Nationwide today, it's time to join our Maiduguri Network Center, and Ladidi is our guide.
Welcome to Maiduguri. All is now set to commence rebuilding of residential houses in Bama town, not captured in the first phase of the reconstruction work to enable more displaced residents return home to normal lives. Governor Babagana Umar was in Bama town, headquarters of Bama local government, for on-the-spot assessments of the affected structures. Mohammed Goni reports.
Bama town, headquarters of Bama local government, is gradually coming back to life, with IDPs returning home to normal life. Governor Babagana Umar was the pioneer commissioner of Ministry for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, and was therefore conversant with the terrain, having spent over 180 days in Bama town to rebuild the ravaged community. During the assessment visit, Governor Zulum walked through a substantial part of the community, assessing structures burnt or destroyed by the Boko Haram insurgents during the occupation of the town, which were not rebuilt during the reconstruction exercise.
I'm here to examine the structures that were not completed before, with a view to resuming reconstruction exercise. So far so good. I've seen most of the areas that have not been reconstructed, and therefore government will soon re-establish the committee to continue with the reconstruction as part of my promises during the electioneering campaign to the people of Bama local government.
Professor Babagana Umar was at the palace of the Shehu of Bama on a courtesy visit, where he intimated the royal father on his mission. Shehu Umar Ibn Kyari Umar Ibrahim El-Kanemi appreciated the governor for his passion to improve the laws of the citizenry. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Good sanitation and hygiene practices not only prevent health challenges of epidemic proportions, but make cities safe for sustainable growth and development. However, government's efforts at providing basic infrastructure and modernize the cosmopolitan town of Maiduguri is being frustrated by indiscriminate dumping of refuse on the street. Zainab Adam examines the worrying phenomenon that equally constitute an eyesore in the urban center.
But the state government has for years been practicing a monthly sanitation exercise as citizens are equally encouraged to imbibe the culture of environmental cleanliness. The city of Maiduguri also witnessed the electrification of major streets as well as nooks and crannies to enhance security movement and nightlife. However, poor maintenance culture is observed around the metropolis, whereby inhabitants of the areas burn refuse on roadsides and streetlight wires, which can be a great disaster if left unchecked.
We are doing our best to push back the refuse, but it is difficult to control the arbitrary dumping.
We are appealing to Borno State government to expedite action on refuse evacuation so as not to block drainages.
General Manager of Borno State Environmental Protection Agency, Bosepa, Abubakar Suleiman, stressed that every day is sanitation day, saying people have the right to stop Bosepa's truck to pack their refuse instead of dumping on roadsides, especially when the rainy season sets in.
Government is spending huge sum of money to clear all the major streets, evacuation of all refuse within Maiduguri and environs.
The general manager also called on residents to make use of the agency's dustbins placed at strategic locations. Citizens taking ownership of public infrastructures can help in making informed decisions in safeguarding projects and facilities wherever they are sited. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
Thus, our contribution from the Home of Peace nationwide continues with Chinenye in Enugu after this time out.
Enugu. Population and housing census is an important economic tool for development and usually a starting point for any government desirous of genuine growth. As a new administration is about to take over in Nigeria, it is germane to provide the team with accurate, dependable and reliable database that will meet international standards. Mina Adobe Ukowasi reports.
National census, like election, is a sensitive exercise which is usually accorded national relevance. The federal government ensures that no stone is left unturned to meet the demands of international standards. These, among others, informed the decision by the National Population and Housing Census to expunge religion and ethnic matters from the 2023 census.
Religion, ethnicity, these are distractions. We have taken a study right from when the first census was conducted in this country to the last one. Because of the peculiarity of our Nigerian environment, what we are really asking for is a data for our economic development.
Apart from religious and ethnic matters, there are other unique features of the 2023 National Population and Housing Census, which includes but not limited to the methodology to be implied by MPC.
For the first time, we are going to deploy technology. We are going to think that's a very remarkable difference between this one and other past census.
The Commission is of the view that issues that will hit up the Nigerian polity will not be a feature in the upcoming census, but rather the questionnaire will contain queries aimed at gathering reliable data that will help provide the necessary infrastructure to and for Nigerians. In Enugu, Minna Adobe Kobasi, NTA News.
A new Assistant Inspector General of Police, Tony Olofu, has assumed duty at Zone 13 Headquarters, Ukpo, comprising Anambra and Enugu states. He assures of excellent policing with zero tolerance to crime and criminality in the zone. Ngozi Okeke Aru reports that Tony Olofu succeeded Abutu Yaru, who retired from service last month.
That was the arrival of AIG Olotu on assumption of office at the Zone 13 headquarters, Ukpo, where he inspected guard of honor parade mounted by security men, exchanged pleasantries with senior officers and headed for his office. The AIG, while speaking to NTA News, said he intends to elevate policing in the zone to a higher level and called on community and intelligence policing, charging his officers to maintain professionalism and ethics of the job. He also encouraged collaboration of residents of Anambra and Enugu states with the police to build a better society all will be proud of.
I intend to build on my simple knowledge of the two states and coordinate the security arrangements already put in place by the two commissioners of police making up the Zone 13.
One-time Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, and the 6th AIG of the zone since its creation on June 8, 2020. The new AIG is a graduate of sociology from the University of Jos in 1985, enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force as a cadet assistant superintendent and has served the police in various capacities. From Zone 13 headquarters, Ukpo, Anambra State, Ngozi Okekaro, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. We'll now rejoin Ifoma in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Chineye. Now, the federal government is committed to granting asylum to persons with genuine applications. Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, gave the assurance in Kefi during a workshop organized by the Commission for Case Officers on Nationality Screening for Asylum Seekers. Nguse Preve has details.
Nationality questions presented by some asylum seekers in Nigeria are complicated, requiring guidance from experts in the field of nationality. Hence, this session to build capacity for personnel in that area.
The issue of nationality screening is non-negotiable because it is extremely important that we kind of profile people in the right manner and in the right way. We'll continue to build capacity of our staff, partnering with other stakeholders, because this is a joint operation.
A commissioner with United Nations High Commission for Refugees, Mwihaki Kinyajui, says the thematic discussion is timely as naughty case scenarios will be presented for resolution.
We do support the Nigerian government in ensuring the standards for screening new arrivals, and the status determination procedure is fair, is efficient, and meets the international and national standards for the protection of refugees.
Our refugee status determination officers need to be well equipped so as to, put into practice the standard operating procedure for identifying persons who are eligible for international protection.
With refreshed ideas, it is expected the officers will offer better service to those seeking better lives. From Kefi, Nguse PV, NTA News.
The 2023 census, we are told, is the mother of headcounts that, if successfully done, has the capacity to turn Nigeria around in the area of development planning. No wonder there is massive mobilization for a successful and accurate count. In Nasarawa State, the government is mobilizing traditional rulers to sensitize their subjects for active participation in the exercise. At an audience with all graded chiefs and emirs in the state, Governor Abdullahi Sule described their role as crucial in ensuring the success of the exercise. Aliu Tijani reports.
Population and housing census is the next national assignment to be conducted in the country, and stakeholders are gearing up for a successful headcount. In Nasarawa State, government is engaging traditional rulers to enlighten people, especially in rural communities, on the significance of census and the need for them to be counted. With few days to the exercise, the state government urges traditional rulers to support government in advocacy in order to ensure the state gets it right this time around, as accurate data will help in proper planning for infrastructure and development.
And from the numbers that we have seen,
what we are just seeing from the trial census of Karu is more than the population that they had always given to us as a state in Nasarawa state. So I think then we strongly believe we are truly shortchanged. So I'm really calling on all our royal fathers to assist and support this census exercise that is coming up.
Traditional rulers assure government of support to ensure a successful national headcount. During the engagement with the traditional rulers, Governor Sule announced the upgrade of 22 traditional rulers from various classes with 6 new first-class chiefs, while the new Aregon is expected to emerge next week. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, conducted by Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB, is progressing steadily in Borno State, with large turnout of candidates in the designated centers. The prospective undergraduates are in compliance with JAMB examination rules, as few challenges are being experienced in the course of the exercise. Zainab Adam reports.
These are some students undergoing biometric verification to ascertain their eligibility for the 2023 UTME JAM examination, taking place peacefully in Maiduguri and Biu towns of Borno State. Every computer-based testing CBT examination center is expected to conduct 3 batches, with some having up to 250 students in a hall, and Al-Munir International College having 400 candidates in each batch every day until the stipulated deadline.
I don't have any fear. I've already prepared myself, just hoping on God to give me the plenty memory to remember what I've read, so that I will meet up the cutoff points I want to do.
The exam, the normal exam.
The exam is normal. I did not encounter any problem in all the papers, so also the computer.
Computer normal.
Center administrators described the conduct as seamless, without any security breaches, except few cases of biometric failure at Northeast Children's Trust Learning Center, Maiduguri.
We had like maybe 1 or 2 of them. What they normally do is that they reschedule them for the exam.
Every child who is supposed to write CBT exam is expected to do what we call pre-CBT training.
The center administrators urged the students to be punctual and identify the location of their centers beforehand. NTA crew observed that some students who were supposed to commence their exams at the early hours of today by 7 in the morning were asked to come back the next day due to an undisclosed challenge at one of the centers in Maiduguri. JAM centers used for the examination are confined to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, and Biu town in southern Borno, an arrangement in place as a result of the insurgency that led to closure of centers in conflict-affected areas. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
Similarly, candidates for the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in Asaba say the computer-based exam has been without technical hitches, while others decry their inability to use the computer system effectively. Susan Esu, who monitored the examination in Asaba Delta State, brings us details.
To the Delta State Library, one of the centers for the examination in Asaba, shows candidates in a very conducive atmosphere taking the computer-based test. This center has 750 registered.
I'd like to sorry about that. Now, the Anambra State government has repositioned the state civil service for more productivity and efficiency. The workforce is now digital, with the provision of 200 computers and laptops worth millions of naira for civil servants in the states. Ndem Kalu completes the report.
I'd like to present to you your own working tool, ICT, working tool, which if you like, begins the distribution of these ICT laptops to the rest of the civil servants.
Equipping Anambra State Civil Service through the Phase 1 distribution of work tools, computers and laptops relevant for enhanced productivity, efficiency and digitized operations is the actualization of one of the pillars of the present administration in the state. Having less than 300 functional computers across the more than 40 ministries, departments and agencies, beneficiaries were urged to embrace technology and use it to solve problems as the state is running e-government.
The ideal thing is that every civil servant will have a desktop or a laptop. Once you embrace technology, you'll be very happy.
By using digital tools and technologies, we can streamline our processes, increase efficiency, and improve the quality of our services.
In today's world of a digital transport, digital age, governments around the world rely heavily on technology. And Anambra State, being an AA state, cannot be left behind.
Beneficiaries applauded the gesture by the state government, promising to make the best use of them. Well-meaning individuals are equally urged to support the government gesture. Having provided the work tools, the next phase is training. From the government house, Oka, Ndem Kalo, NTA News.
Ahead of the May 29th inauguration, the Albino Foundation Africa is quick to demand appointments of capable persons with disabilities as ministers and commissioners in federal and state cabinets for inclusivity. Chief Executive Officer of the foundation, Jake Epele, made the demand when presenting the TAF Africa 2023 General Elections Report on Disability Inclusion.
In the 2023 general elections, 85,363 persons with disabilities were registered by INEC to vote. 36 contested for elective positions at the federal and state levels, but none of them was successful. Yet, persons with disabilities are hopeful. Those elected will be more considerate in appointing them in key positions.
Discrimination against persons with disability Prohibition Act 2018 provides that all employment of labor in a public organization should be as much as possible have persons with disability constituting at least 5% of their employment. In other words, if we want to really apply this law, that means among all the ministers appointed, 5% of that number should be persons with disability. We can compromise and say, please give us one person.
Electoral violence and absence of assistive devices in some polling units to TAF Africa was a major hindrance to inclusivity in the general elections and wants authorities to take a step further to address the issues for improved electioneering. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Rivers United depart Nigeria for Dar es Salaam in a make-or-mark Confederation Cup quarter-final encounter with Young Africans of Tanzania. Details of these and more with Chukunonso Mwabuze on Sports Updates.
Nigeria's representative in this season's CAF Confederation Cup, Rivers United, Thursday afternoon departed the country via Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania for their second leg quarter-final tie against Young Boys on Sunday, April the 30th. With a 2-0 aggregate deficit, Rivers United are hopeful of upturning the result when both sides slug it out at the 60,000 capacity Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, Dar es Salaam. Away from Nigeria, Arsenal's hope of winning another English Premier League were again dashed following a 4-1 away loss to Manchester City at the Etihad Wednesday night. City are now just 2 points behind Arsenal on the table with 2 outstanding games. In other results, Chelsea suffered 5th straight defeat under Frank Lampard after losing 2-0 at home against Brentford. West Ham United were beaten 2-1 at home by Liverpool. Nottingham Forest also secured a vital 3-1 home victory over Brighton. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur play host to Manchester United in a battle of top 4 finish. Third-placed Newcastle United are away to relegation-threatened Everton at Goodison Park, while Southampton vs Bournemouth conclude Thursday's fixtures. And in tennis, Dominic Thiem Thursday progressed to the second round of the 2023 Madrid Open. The 29-year-old Austrian secured his passage after an emphatic 6-4, 6-1 win against Kyle Edmond of Britain. In the women's category, 3-time champion Petra Kvitova suffered a second-round defeat to Irene Meyer of Germany, the 10th seed competing in the 100th WTA 1000 tournament of her career, failed to convert 2 set points before losing 6-7, 1-6 to the world number 67. With sports updates, I am Chukunonso Nwabueze, NTA News.
And that's nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. Bye for now.